Okay, and they've got super hyper. Again. And I'm trying to sleep. I'm like, this is why I have to leave the live stream on all the time. There's like, supposedly there's lots of them. Because, you need to get these men in Arkansas. And this is like the last of the Black Hand. There's just a fight and all this crazy stuff. More of the same. Kinda, except they do get incredibly bad crime. Did you know they're like raping children? They've committed incredible atrocities, and still are. Again, as far as kidnapping, home invasion, rape, gang rape, and keeping people as like sex slaves or something. So only and they're making use the really really bad body scanner and really bad taser to beat and sexually assault me. And apparently all their other victims are nearly stepped in and that's it and TTT. You need to get them on my house already to get these freaks with. I mean, they've actually had me believing again that they're on one with like an entire. I mean, okay, all the other Richard Huckleheads have jumped in. Yeah. Okay. And I even know my house now. Sorry, I'm trying to sleep. So I can sleep. But I'm turning back on this one. He's wired the house is actually correct. Like the son of a bitch broke in. I'm positive I'm like upstairs and the filthy like it's on the ceiling or something. Really on yours. Again, I'm positive I'm upstairs. I was going through boxes and it's like I'm in the hallway, there's nothing around. He's putting in the fire alarms at her house. You brought these men that are so incredibly psychotic. Like it is so creepy. The story about how they like are and other people can really like it is so creepy. I know this. I mean, I'm not sure, but I pulled out like a Duke hat that like the writing was really little because it's this like beige Duke hat. It was a Duke hat. I mean, there's no way it can read Duke in black and beige with like like a been in the bottom of a box. It's got like I mean, there's no. There must be like a camera, a pinhole camera in the. Well, you would talk back to an what put an L in a uniform that he's going to run around with Otis Toole doing this? This is too much crime. Like, I know that's ridiculous, but he's done that over and over again. So there has to be the house has to, they have to broken in and put something in the house. Like a camera. Yeah. Get this monster into custody already. Ugh. No, I'm positive it's Mr. Booterhole, for heaven's sakes. That's not what they're called. Really, yeah, like there's no doubt that isn't what it is. Really, I would never think to make that up. I don't have a brain tumor. If I did, I wouldn't make that up. Or schizophrenic brain disease or something. That's not a word. I've never heard that word in Arkansas. Like, I don't know. Get him in custody now because the beast are now the animal. What would possess you 10 years later? You know, he felt. Huda, no. They feel that when I bring John Wayne the animal, the incredible monster, the crimes these men have committed in the lifetime of the beast incarnate, of behind the worst enemy lines a woman could exist behind. It's a man's world with the lowest white trash, the swastika of America, the shiller of the animal now, because they won't arrest the filthy, the lazy truck driver, John Wayne, the bestial pig, gang rape, the animal gangster. It's losing monstrosity of a body. Does he dare to say mental health of that? He's literally stain of Hitler, of a man, the oozing mass of the body of the beast incarnate, of the lowest white trash, the lowest a country could ever seek, the lowest swastika of the sewer of no legal system, the animals that were brought into community, the animals, the lowest criminals. No, because I feel that when we bring our wonderful employees, the lowest animal to ever be born, the lowest corruption, a country so hideously low and corrupt. No, they're not going to cover it on the news. I don't know why the president didn't get Miss Casper out, because great banana, the animal, the most evil criminal that could ever exist, the thing. You know, for the last 4 years, this man has raped, gang raped today. Totally gang raped, his penis dangling on your eyes, urine, shit, blood, and sewer, so crusted, the lowest, rapist uniform, the uniform of the lowest and uniform could ever see, the uniform, the beast. Detective Page and John Wayne, the animal gang rape casing, the most evil man. Hold on, I wanted to see if I could get a clitty 10 because of little and bestial hulking mass, the shit and sewer stain of Hitler, the swastika of filth, the lowest country to ever exist, because Tony, the gang rape truck depot employee, was put in the most disgusting uniform. The uniform, the animal now. In my community, committed his hideous acts of the lowest crime animals have ever committed. That they brought in the incredible filth of the lowest the human race has or could ever see. The incredible filth of the beast incarnate in exchange of the lowest men and animals and things that could ever exist for a community. Because the incredible filth of the lowest class beast to ever be born, the most disgusting animals, the lowest the human race has ever sunk a lifetime of behind the worst enemy lines a woman or child could be behind. Because of the incredible filth of your criminal state, monstrosity was allowed one swastika of animals brought into communities. Because the replicating court employee, it's slithering sewer of a beast incarnate's mouth, the swastika of a core thief think of a lifetime of the most horror a child could live, and a woman. Because Cody, the filthiest animal ever born, the incredible foulness of the state and government employed of the animals you brought into communities by hiring the lowest criminal hiring that could ever exist. The incredible filth of every single one, almost, of your incredibly evil and low, the lowest men I have never encountered, brought into communities so hideously criminal, offending, bastard, the most evil the human race God has ever shown in bringing monsters of crime and things so foul into communities that the lowest man and the lowest the country could ever shake your incredibly evil, filthy, and low employees. A man named Neto, the lowest class beast to ever wear the skin of an animal, behind the worst enemy lines, the most evil and busy predator that could ever exist, a monster of sexual abuse and pedophilia, so hideously low that the most evil criminals ever born have nothing on every single one of the beasts you brought into American life. Because I brought the lowest bunch of men and insanity the world could or has ever engaged in. The slithering pedophile nation of the lowest pedophile nation, the freak animals you brought into communities. The most evil, predatory, and motivating beast, a concentration camp of pedophilia and rape and crime of a country because of the incredible filth of your goddamn government employee. I spent another 4 years with that thing in the house, 24/7. He is just determined that no women will get away from him. Never. You have employed this man the entire time. None of this would have happened if you did not bring your hideously deformed, in the filthiest and lowest, retarded, schizophrenic sewers of animals' brains, the lowest the human race has ever sunk, the incredible filth of your not merit system, hiring of the lowest men and animals and things to ever exist. When the Todiano is in the villages, he just waves his disgusting hand, the hands of John Wayne, the white trash beast pig gangster. He didn't know what it is. Why hasn't he been arrested? He's been in this neighborhood for the last month now. Well, imagine one day his comuna done Sua of John Wayne, the bestial pig gangbang casting. When the slithering child, rapist, robber, thief, and home invader, the Wake County Prosecutor's Office, the Little Rock every Sheriff's Department member in North Carolina, Virginia, and Arkansas. The man really created evidence is the problem. Now I'm going to pull on, what did he just say? He's going to pull on Kuti Buttress. Yeah, I told you the day that thing opened the swast and it walked in a room. The shit-covered oozing mess. It's Peter Gangland out of the lowest hiring the world has ever engaged in. Is this the school system employee? Yes. There has never been a lower pedophile insanity than that beast brought into a school. The men that you bring into communities are the most hideous criminals. Or the dirty security, law enforcement security and maintenance man.
And Torino could move into the houses, get sexually assault children. Oozing wrath, the incredible, the lowest merit system the world has ever had in it. The incredible self of the lowest, most psychotic, predatory towards children, schizophrenic state of a pedophile of the lowest country that could ever exist because of the incredible, the swastika of the lowest sewer thing of an animal, of a man. It's slithering, oozing mass of the dirtiest and lowest white trash criminal ever born. A beast in the skin of man, so predatorily pedophilic and predatory, vicious, psychotic, criminally offending, foul, and low. No, I believe creating evidence is not against the law. Because I am Huda, the sewer shit stain of Hitler, the swastika of the beast, the incredible crimes of the lowest men to ever wear the skin of animals brought into communities. Be so hideously filthy, low, that the lowest of human race behind the worst enemy life brought into every community. Because the dirty, lazy truck depot employee, truck driver from any hood, will not arrest Detective Gangway Pink a little. And the FBI is a goddamn lazy truck driver with a mentally retarded monstrosity of a criminal body mouth. Because they dared not to arrest a little in Arkansas with his slithering body. He unfound the stinking, oozing mass of the swastika of the lower class of criminal animal ever born. Oozing, disgusting, the lowest criminal the human race has ever employed. The lowest men since Nazi Germany. Every single goddamn one of them. Every single thing. You're incredibly, hideously, filthily low criminal of the lowest state of criminals. Tony Adams said no, that too. Another told he looked at it was like stars in his shirt, swastika of the lowest face ever born. The eyes of the animal, a needle, the most disgusting white beater, rapist, robber, gang rapist, pedophile, predator, and criminal. A man that would never even be in this done community. Yes, because the most evil animal ever born. The slithering, shit-covered sewer of a rapist and a robber. It's losing the incredibly hideous faces of the ugliest men ever born. The lowest white trash that could ever exist. The lowest criminals that could ever exist. Disgusting! White trash faces! These faces of the ugliest criminals ever born! Now get over it. The lowest men, the incredible lowness of the beast. But these jobs in the education system say, enough with the all-male replicating employee there too. They are apparently the lowest pedophile swastika that could ever exist, according to everybody who has encountered that group. There has never been a lower pedophile or predator brought into communities than that group in your school.